Today is November 7th, and we finally have all the cards that are going to be in the new Avatar Last Airbender set. This segment is going to be just the final few cards that were shown, and we're going to go through those one by one. Starting off, we're just going to look at some ally tokens. I like all of them a lot, the artwork, especially just the Kyoshi's. Big Kyoshi fan. I also like the Water Tribe outfit right there. And then we have Earth Kingdom Jailer, 3-cost creature, human soldier ally. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater until this creature leaves the battlefield. Then we have Enter the Avatar State, 1-cost instant lesson. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes an avatar in addition to its other types, and gains flying, first strike, lifelink, and hexproof. Then we have Hakoda, Selfless Commander, 4-cost legendary creature, human warrior ally. With Vigilance, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast ally spells from the top of your library, and then you can sacrifice Hakoda. Creatures you control get +0/+5 and gain indestructible until end of turn. Then we have some cards that are being quote-unquote brought back, like this one, brought back, 2-cost, instant, choose up to 2 target permanent cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn, return them to the battlefield tapped. Then we have Empty City Ruse, 1-cost sorcery, target opponent skips all combat phases of their next turn. And we have Scout's Warning, 1-cost instant, the next creature card you play this turn can be played as though it had flash, draw a card. On to Mono Blue, we have the Spirit Oasis, 3-cost legendary enchantment, Shrine. When the Spirit Oasis enters, draw a card for each shrine you control. Whenever another shrine you control enters, draw a card. You got Momo right there, really cute. Then we have, Spirit Water Revival, 3-cost sorcery. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you may waterbend 6. Draw 2 cards. If this spell's additional cost was paid, instead shuffle your graveyard into your library, draw 7 cards, and you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Then we have Tio, Spirited Glider, 4-cost legendary creature, human pilot ally. With flying, whenever one or more creatures you control with flying attack, draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a non-flying card this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Could be a very fun commander card. Then you have Waterbending Scroll, 2-cost artifact. By spending 6, you can tap, draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to cast for each island you control, which is going to be probably auto-include in like every single mono blue commander deck. Then we have Agent of Treachery, which is a 7-cost creature, human rogue. When this creature enters, gain control of target permanent. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 3 or more permanents you don't own, draw 3 cards. Then you have Bribery, 5-cost sorcery. Search target opponent's library for the creature card and put that card onto the battlefield under your control. Then that player shuffles. Then we have Clone, and we have clearly, Toph, Aang, Sokka, and Katara looking damper, pretty cool looking. 4-cost creature shapeshifter. You may have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Then we have Clone Legion, 9-cost sorcery. For each creature target player controls, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Love that they kind of had the flavor for the, Juhi, I believe her name is. Really cool. Then we have Imprisoned in the Moon, 3-cost enchantment aura. Enchant creature, land or planeswalker. Enchanted permanent is a colorless land with tap, add colorless, and loses all other card types and abilities. Then we have Intruder Alarm, 3-cost enchantment. Creatures don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Whenever a creature enters, untap all creatures. Then we have Prosperity, sorcery. Each player draws X cards. Standstill, love this scene. 2-cost enchantment. When a player casts a spell, sacrifice this enchantment. If you do, each of that player's opponents draw 3 cards. Then you have Training Grounds right there. 1-cost enchantment. Activate abilities of creatures you control cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. Then you have Judy, one of many. That is very creepy art. They did Elena Richard just did a really good job with this art. 2-cost creature, human advisor. By spending a black, you can tap and surveil 1. Create a token that's a copy of this creature, then sacrifice an artifact or creature, activate only as a sorcery. Then we have Ko, the Face Stealer. Just love how they capture this creepy spirit It's aiming as an agent spirit, so they did a really good job with this. I mean, they got the face stealer right there. Kind of shocked they didn't include the water avatar's like wife or fiance as a theme right there, but legendary creature shapeshifter spirit. When Ko enters, exile up to one other target creature. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may exile it. By paying 1 life, you can choose a creature card exiled with Ko. Ko has all activated and triggered abilities of the last chosen card. I love the flavor of this card. Then we have Lo and Lee, twin tutors, 5 cost legendary creature, human advisor. When Lo and Lee enter, search your library for a lesson or noble card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Noble creatures you control and lesson spells you control have lifelink. Then we have Northern Air Temple, 1 cost legendary enchantment, Shrine. When it enters, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. Whenever another shrine you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Then we have Phoenix Fleet Airship, which is going to be a 4 cost artifact vehicle with flying. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrifice a permanent this turn, create a token that's a copy of this vehicle. As long as you control 8 or more permanents named Phoenix Fleet Airship, this vehicle is an artifact creature. It has crew 1. Then you have Pirate Peddlers, 3 cost creature, human pirate with Death Touch. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Then you have Zuko's Conviction, 1 cost instant with Kicker 4. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If this spell was kicked, instead put that card on the battlefield tapped. Then we have a token. This is Marat Log, which is for that land where you can you put counters on it, and then by spending, I believe, 3, you can reduce take away a counter, and once it hits 0 counters, it becomes this, which is a flying indestructible 20/20. Then we have Fire Nation Tank Train, 6 costs, artifact creature, construct with menace. When this creature enters, you may destroy another target creature. If a creature is destroyed this way, you gain life equal to its toughness, and it's a Noxious Gearhulk. Then we have some more tokens. We have the Dragon token, which has flying and firebending. It's a 4/4. We have Monk, which is a 1/1, but it has prowess. We have just a normal standard soldier, which is a 2/2, but it has firebending 1. And then there's just a standard 2/2 soldier token. Next we have Fire Nation Cadets, 1 cost creature, human soldier. This creature has firebending 2 as long as there's a lesson card in your graveyard. By spending 2, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Then we have Firebending Lessons, 1 cost instant lesson with Kicker 4. Firebending Lesson deals 2 damage to a target creature. If the spell was kicked, it deals 5 damage to that creature instead. And then we have Jet's Brainwashing, 1 cost sorcery with Kicker 3. Target creature can't block this turn. If this spell was kicked, gain control of that creature until end of turn, untap it, and it gains haste until end of turn. Create a clue token. Then you have Price of Freedom, which is a very good sorcery lesson. It's a 2 cost. Destroy target artifact or land an opponent controls. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle, and then you draw a card. Then we have Treetop Freedom Fighters, 3 cost creature, human rebel ally with haste. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Then we have Wartime Protesters, 4 cost creature, human rebel ally with haste. Whenever another ally you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, and it gains haste until end of turn. Then we have Blasphemous Act. We all know what this does, but it's a 9 cost sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. Then you have Dockside Extortionist, another common card, 2 cost creature, Goblin Pirate. When this creature enters, create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponent controls. Then you have Fervor, 3 cost enchantment, creatures you control have haste. Human Defector, which makes sense, it's John, I believe his name is, 2 cost creature, human rogue. By tapping, you can draw 2 cards. Target opponent gains control of this creature, activate only during your turn. Then we have Lightning Bolt, which is just red, instant lightning bolt, deals 3 damage to any target. Then you have Mirror-Winged Dragon, 5 cost creature dragon with flying. Whenever a player casts an instant or a sorcery spell that targets only this creature, that player copies that spell for each other creature they control that the spell could target. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. It's a 4/5. Then we have Rending Volley, 1 cost instant. This spell can't be countered. Rending Volley deals 4 damage to target white or blue creatures. Then we have Searing Blood, 2 cost instant. Searing Blood deals 2 damage to target creature. When that creature dies this turn, Searing Blood deals 3 damage to the creature's controller. 1 cost Shattering Spree, sorcery, replicate red, destroy target artifact. Then you have Volcanic Torrent, 5 cost sorcery with Cascade. It deals X damage to each creature and planeswalker your opponent control, where X is the number of spells you've cast this turn. Then you have Warstorm Surge, 6 cost enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Then we have Momo's Heist, which is a 3 cost sorcery. Gain control of target artifact, untap it, it gains haste. At the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice it. Moving on to mono green, we have Bayer, love this guy. Osco, I believe his name is. Of course, we have another Boomy card, Boomy Keynote 3 Trials, 6 cost, legendary creature, human noble ally. When Boomy enters, choose up to X, where X is the number of blessing cards in your graveyard. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on Boomy. Target player scries 3, Earthbend 3. Then you have the Earth King, and I love this card. I'm definitely making a commander deck out of this, but it is a 4 cost legendary creature, human noble ally. When the Earth King enters, create a 4/4 green bear creature token. But whenever one or more creatures you control with power 4 or greater attacks, search your library for up to that many basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. I mean, it's really good because if you're attacking, you're still doing it no matter what the opponent decides to do. So you're going to be getting those lands regardless. Then we have Earthern Ally. It's a green, but technically it's every single kind of color because, well, one, this creature gets +1/+0 for each color amount of allies you control, but then by spending 2 and 1 color of each, you can Earthbend 5. Then, last but not least, when it comes to the most recent avatars, we have the Legend of Kyoshi. It is a saga. With you can draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. At 2 lore counters, you can Earthbend X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. That land becomes an island in addition to its other types. Then with 3 lore counters, you can exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. And when transformed, it becomes Avatar Kyoshi. Legendary creature Avatar. Lands you control have trample and hexproof. By tapping, you can add X mana of any one color, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Then we have True Ancestry. And I believe you have Roku right there, and is that Sozin maybe? I don't know. 2 cost sorcery lesson, return up to 1 target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, create a clue token. Then we have Beastmaster Ascension, 3 cost enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you may put a quest counter on this enchantment. As long as this enchantment has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get +5/+5. Then we have Elemental Bond, 3 cost enchantment. Whenever a creature you control with power 3 or greater enters, draw a card. Heartbeat of Spring, 3 cost enchantment. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, that player adds 1 mana of any type that land produced. Then we have Earth Rumble Triumph, 5 cost, instant, choose 1. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control. Non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. This is also known as Return of the Wild Speaker. Then you have Rites of Flourishing, 3 cost enchantment. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Each player may play an additional land on each of their turns. Then we have Uncle's Musings, 4 cost sorcery, Converge. Return up to X permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast the spell. Then you exile him. So I'm not going to be putting art cards in here, but this is the exception. And we'll be getting to these cards shortly, but I just wanted to show this to you just because I think it's really cool. We have Bitter Work, 3 cost enchantment. Whenever you attack a player with 1 or more creatures with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Then you have Exhaust 4, Earthbend 4, activate only during your turn. Then we have Jet Freedom Fire. It is a 5 cost legendary creature, human rebel ally. When Jet enters, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature and opponent controls. When Jet dies, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Then you have Sandbender Scavengers, 2 cost creature, human rogue. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. When this creature dies, you may exile it. When you do, return target creature card with mana value less than or equal to this creature's power from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then you have Wandering Musicians, 4 cost creature, human bard ally. Whenever this creature attacks, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Then you have Zhao, Ruthless Admiral, 4 cost, legendary creature, human soldier, firebending 2. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Then you have Zuko Conflicted, 2 cost, legendary creature, human rogue. At the beginning of your main phase, choose one that hasn't been chosen and you lose 2 life. Draw a card, put +1/+1 counter on Zuko, add red, exile Zuko, then return him to the battlefield under an opponent's control. Then you have Fevered Visions, 3 cost enchantment. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player draws a card. If the player is your opponent and has 4 or more cards in hand, this enchantment deals 2 damage to that player. Then you have Join the Dance, which is very, like, it's not one of the better ones when it comes to like these screenshots of the episodes. Like, it's very blurry. I mean, I do the same process for every single card, but like it's not a good one. But anyways, it's a 2 cost sorcery, create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens, flashback 5. Then you have the Monstrous Serpent, which is going to be a 7 cost, also known as Cosmo Serpent, legendary creature serpent. The spell can't be countered. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 3/3 blue serpent creature token named Coma's Coil. Sacrifice another serpent, choose 1. Tap target permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated this turn. The Monstrous Serpent gains indestructible until end of turn. Then you have Zuko Redeemed, 1 cost, also known as Reese the Redeemed, legendary creature, elf warrior. By spending 3, you can tap, create a 1/1 green and white elf warrior creature token. By spending 6, you can tap for each creature token you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Then these are the artworks once again, but we're going to go through them one by one. This is Mayan Zuko. It's a 4 cost legendary creature, human noble ally, firebending 3. You may cast ally spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. Then we have Ain and Katara. It's going to be a 6 cost legendary creature, human avatar ally. When Ain and Katara enter or attack, create X 1/1 white ally creature tokens, where X is the number of tapped artifacts and or creatures you control. Then we have Toph, the Greatest Earthbender, 4 cost legendary creature, human warrior ally. When Toph enters, Earthbend X, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast or land creatures you control, have double strike. And I really love the card arts where they kind of you combine 3 cards and they form one thing. So I put them right all together right here, and just to show you just how awesome and beautiful like the artist did for this, and it's really cool. Good job, Brian. Really good. Job well done for this one. And then they also does a Sokka and Suki, which is revealed earlier, and this is more definitely unique because this is like a L-shaped kind of, and I don't think you even see that in other card games that often. Because usually it's in like 3s or 2s or something like that, but this is 4 and it's in the shape of an L, so that's pretty cool. And moving on, we have just some more tokens. Then we have Ballistic Bowler, token artifact creature construct with flying. It's a 2/1. Then we have clue tokens, and then we have I believe that's Arrow Sandal right there, and then Opposite Wanted poster, and then Messenger Bird, and also some things like the White Lotus tile and Katara's necklace. Then we have food tokens, and which one's your favorite in terms of like which one would you eat? I'm leaning more towards this one right over here on the right. It looks pretty appetizing. Then we have a treasure token. Then we have Fire Nation Warship, 3 cost artifact vehicle with reach. When this vehicle dies, create a clue token, clue 2. Then we have Kyoshi Battlefan, 2 cost artifact equipment. When this equipment enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token, then attach this equipment to it. Equip creatures get +1/+0, equip 2. Then we have the Walls of Bossy Insane. This is a crazy card, like super crazy. It's a legendary artifact creature, so you can use this as a commander. Wall. It is a defender. Other permanents you control have indestructible, which isn't, it's pretty bad if you're able to not take care of the Walls of Bossy Insane. But like if it had a low health, might not be too much of a deal because it doesn't get indestructible. But having it be in 0 and 30, you basically just win if you put this out and you can like give it like hexproof or something like that. This might be the highest toughness creature in the entire thing as far as I am aware, but Then we have Cityscape Leveler, 8-cost artifact creature construct with trample. When you cast a spell and whenever this creature attacks, destroy up to one target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a tap Power Stone token, unearth 8. Then we have Meteorite, 5-cost artifact. When this artifact enters, it deals 2 damage to any target. Add 1 mana of any color. Moving on to some lands, we got Abandoned Air Temple. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. You can tap to add a white, or by spending 4 you can tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Then we have Bossing Say. There's no war in Bossing Say. Land. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. You can tap to add green. By spending 3 you can tap to Earthbend 2. Then we have the Realm of Ko. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. You can tap to add black. By spending 4 you can tap to create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. With this token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. Then you have Sunbaked Canyon. Land. You can pay 1 life to add a blue or white. Then you can spend 1 colorless to tap and sacrifice this land to draw a card. Then, last but not least, we have Treetop Village, which is a land. This land enters tapped. You can tap to add green. You can spend 2. This land becomes a 3/3 green ape creature with trample until end of turn. It's still a land. So that was all of the cards, all of the spoilers in the Avatar Last Airbender set. I will be going through each and every single color one by one. So like mono blue, mono green, so on and so forth. In their own individual videos, there will be a multicolored one, there will be an artifact lands, and so on and so forth, just so I can kind of break them down. And I'm going to also combine them all into one large one. So if you like longer form content, you can watch it that way. So thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any card that you want from this batch of spoilers. If so, which ones, and any chase cards that you guys want, let me know too down in the comments below. And while you're on your way down, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much again. I hope you guys have a good one. Tutor out.